In this video, I'm going to explain 3-act story structure using the 3D animated short film Pigeon Impossible. It was released in 2009 and has amassed over 14 million views on YouTube, and it also inspired the 3D animated feature film Spies in Disguise starring Will Smith and Tom Holland. My name is Austen Menges, and I'm the owner of Menges Post in Austin, Texas. When I'm not editing, I'm passionate about teaching everything editing. I believe that a deep understanding of narrative story structure is one of the most important tools in an editor's tool belt. Even if you're not actively editing a narrative, I think these concepts can be applied to almost any project. And for those who want to rebel against Hollywood story structure, I say do so at your own risk and only after you learn the rules that you're interested in breaking. When dividing your story into 3 acts, the first act should take up about 25%. In the case of our 6-minute short, that would be 90 seconds. The second act should take up about 50%, and the third act should take up the final 25%. Now let's take a look at the structure of Pigeon Impossible. First things first, the opening of a narrative film should reveal the protagonist and show them in their normal environment. Here we have Walter. He's clearly not the most suave of all the agents. Within Act 1, you have what is called the Inciting Incident. This is where the main character's normal world is disrupted. In this case, it's when a seemingly harmless pigeon appears. And then we hit the first plot point, which should send the story in a whole different direction. Here, it's when the pigeon gets trapped in the briefcase. This happens at the 1.5 minute mark, which is 25% of the way in, right on time. This leads us into Act 2, where our protagonist tries to solve the problem, but things continue to escalate and get worse for them. A key element of Act 2 is called the midpoint. That's where the character thinks they have the problem solved, but it ends up only getting worse. In Pigeon Impossible, this is where the tables are turned, Walter's in control, and he threatens to destroy the bagel. We're right around the 3-minute mark, exactly halfway through the film. Perfect. As the stakes continue to rise, we get to the character's lowest point, sometimes referred to as the big gloom. For Walter, his lowest moment is when it appears he might be responsible for starting World War III. Walter must shed his insecurity and muster up the courage to save the day. And let's check our time here. The beginning of Act 3 hits right at around 75%. In Act 3, the rising action comes to a climax, which happens here, when Walter outsmarts the pigeon and destroys the nuke, saving the day. Also in Act 3 is the resolution, or denouement. This is when Walter comes back down to earth, literally, and things are back to normal. But he's a changed man. He is no longer a bumbling agent, he has swagger. And our pigeon, well, he gets what he deserves. There you have it, a tidy 3-act story structure in a 6-minute short. And while it's simple, it's not easy. We refined the story over several years before Lucas and his animation team brought it to life. If you'd like to read more about 3-act story structure, I recommend Sid Field's classic book, Screenplay: The Foundations of Screenwriting. If you got value out of this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel.